Welcome to Shadeinthecity.
It's
I'm your girl Treese,
Nels.
and today we're here to do the 90 day of the fiance
What is that?
the other way. Okay. This is season 6, episode 2. I did not get the name of the episode, so don't even.
What women don't want.
Yes, look at. So I'm realizing that they're all named after titles, movie titles
Mm-hmm.
this
Well,
season.
kind of.
Well, no, because the first one, no, the first. Remember, somebody told it they have a thing that they do every season and how they
Well,
name the shows.
it would have been what women want, but
Right, and the first one was my best friend's meddling, which is my best friend's wedding. So that's
mm-hmm.
they're trying to stay with this. Okay, I see what you're doing. And shout out to TLC. This episode was only 42 minutes for me, y'all. Y'all listening, y'all hearing what I'm saying,
About
and
damn
I can
time.
appreciate it because this was great. Well, we're gonna try to make this recap a little longer than 15 minutes, but I mean, I ain't gonna make it no longer than it have to be because it was short. It was short, straight, and to the point. So yeah, let's get into it, y'all. Let's get shady. All right, y'all. So I'm a little blown. I got stuck with this couple this time around. And normally I've made it very clear if I don't feel like there's nothing to give, I will not give it. But I guess they gave us a little something this episode. And because it was only 40 minutes, and y'all would only have 5 minutes of an episode if I didn't do them. So, all right. Shekinah and Sarper, she's getting ready to return to Turkey to be with Sarper. She's still upset about his infamous body count book and bottle collection. And she swore that she wouldn't go back unless they were gone. But we see her taking her ass back anyway. Oop, it's not 15 minutes. I'm sorry. So she said Sarper prefers to talk about, their issues in person. This is what she's telling her good homegirl. I didn't get her name. She plans to pull out her little book if he doesn't get rid of his. Huh?
I said if Petty was a person.
Right. And said, she has a book that contains a 143-page letter. I said, well, you definitely got a Leah beat. From her first love. All right.
First of all, how does that even compare? Because it's 143 pages. Girl, this man ain't thinking about you. Somebody back when you was in school. Your first love.
And clearly had a lot of time to write. So
they couldn't even see each other. They couldn't even be around each other.
Now she thinks that this will show Sarper that she means business. Girl, bye. She says she loves Sarper and she can see, herself spending the rest of her life with him, but not if he's still holding on to the past. And so when Shekinah finally arrives into Turkey, and Sarper is just beyond excited. When she gets to the airport, he's actually in tears when he sees her.
I think those are real tears.
Tears, right? Right. And even Shekinah is like surprised by his reaction. Like, are you doing this for the camera? Because any other time you act like you don't like me. So then they all
face for emotions. I wish she would have said which one.
Right. She has her dog Adonis by her side because apparently she's brought up, as Nell said in her last recap, she won't leave in that dog. I thought it was a small dog. No, this is a pretty big damn dog. But I love how Sarper just picks him up like he's a baby. And I was like, okay, because I know that dog weighs something for real. But anyway, so then Shekinah said the time apart was hard on them. And there are things that she wants to talk about. And then once they get to his apartment, she sees that Sarper still has his bottle collection and she's immediately pissed off. And I said, well,
immediately.
I mean, maybe that's why you should have had him remove it before you got there. But you said, you wanted to wait till you got there. Now it's Nels' favorite.
No, I mean, I like Dempsey.
I was getting ready to say I like Dempsey. I don't like Statler. That's the
Yeah.
problem. I don't like Statler.
I like Dempsey. So Dempsey, she sold all her belongings. She just sold her caravan, and said, you know, the only thing she has left really is her clothes. She said she's buying her camper van and they're going to travel. So she's super excited. Statler, really not so much. She's enjoying her last warm bath that she's going to have for a very long time.
And the bath is warm for several reasons.
Yeah. Apparently this girl pisses in it before she gets out the tub.
Like, that just feels like that ruins the whole point of your bath.
She had to let us know about that as well. Once again, about her ADHD and autism, and how she can't get anything done because of it. So she got into her and Dempsey's history, which I'm not going to do. If you don't know it, please go to our recap.
Right.
Now, she let them know that, you know, initially she was super excited about the adventure, and now she feels like it was a lot to take on. So being that she was overwhelmed, she decided to, you know what, just check out. Okay.
She ain't got no money, but we won't go there.
And you said it what?
Because Statler ain't got no money, but I don't want to jump.
I thought she was the only one making money right now.
That's next episode.
I thought that's how they're gonna afford this.
That's next episode.
Dempsey was working where she was living.
Right.
And that's, she said, basically, Statler's more worried about, you know, where she's gonna live, her job she's gonna have. Dempsey ain't worried about none of that. Statler's gonna have her work on the road with her. Dempsey, it sounds like Dempsey's gonna be taken care of. She's living in her soft girl era. Okay. So Dempsey basically, you know, she definitely noticed that Statler checked out because she's the one that's been left to deal with all of this. Now Dempsey is terrified. No, not Dempsey. Why did I say Dempsey? Statler is terrified. She's basically just hoping that it works out and they don't end up homeless. Now we see Dempsey out on the road foraging for mushrooms. Okay. She said Mother Earth provides everything you need, and she's basically an expert on, you know, what's the good kind and not so good kind. Okay. I don't know why I could see Alina doing something like this. Yeah.
Yeah. I had the very same thought.
So Dempsey went to go see her friend Lindsay to get some tips on living in a camper van because apparently she has one also. She said traveling is in her blood. You know, her family and her have been doing it. Well, her family's been doing it for generations, but you know, she grew up doing this. We know that history as well. Now, she said Lindsay down and showed her the route that she plans to take. You know, they want to go see Sweden. They want to go see Paris. She is super excited about this adventure, but concerned about the things that will stress Statler out because she's high stress.
Lindsay, she said, let's go to sleep in Paris and wake up in Tokyo.
Lindsay is not sure Statler is even the right person to take this trip with. And really, she's got Dempsey thinking. I think Dempsey was already thinking, but it's got her thinking a little bit harder. We already know how Statler is. She's not cool with the small spaces. I think that's going to be an issue. The fact that she's the only one probably paying anything, taking care, you know, footing the bill for everything. The only one that's going to be working, that's going to be an issue. In fact, she can't take a hot bath or shower unless they check in somewhere, maybe go to a truck stop or something. I don't know how that's going to work. Do camper vans don't have, they don't got showers, do they? It's not like an RV, right?
Mm-mm.
Well, maybe
the Mother Earth provides everything that they need.
Like a lake or something?
Yeah. Dempsey gives me that vibe that she just gonna go in a lake somewhere when she see, like camping. You go where the water's at and you clean up.
We got an innie, not an Audi. I ain't going to nobody's lake.
Dempsey is one with the land.
Well, good luck. Good luck to them. I don't think it's gonna work.
Well, on to our next couple. I saw a comment on Twitter today, and I'm sorry that I don't have your handle to shout you out, but it might have been sarcasm, but I don't think it was him. But shout out to somebody saying that this is the older version of Brandon and Mary. And I said, well, We have points. So we see James and Tata. Is that it? Tata?
Yes.
Okay. So he's looking, he's taking her to the airport. She's upset that she didn't get an opportunity to say goodbye to her parents or his parents, because they don't know that they're moving, right? And she's still obviously upset learning that she has to leave the dog Jojo behind. James tells her that he plans to follow her to Indonesia about a month later, but he still ain't bought no ticket. Red flag. Then he's hopeful that once he gets to Indonesia, he can work for her family. Tata makes it clear her family isn't going to pay him if he works for them. That's not how this works. It's family business. It's not an empire. It's not family empire. It's family business, and you work for free. Because I'm sure.
She said, my family ain't gonna pay you. Your family.
Right. And then, basically James is a little upset when he hears this because he wants to know, well, why would they make a plan that involved him not being able to take care of her once they moved? And then, Tata suggested, this is what I was confused. They take a banana chip and if y'all know anything about this in the comments, please help us.
Isn't this like, it's not part of a tree or something?
I don't know, but she said they're gonna take a banana chip from her father's home and then they're gonna take it to another city to sell. Basically, it's like a commission for them working.
And then I was like, okay, you stealing, but still sounds like a better plan than the first one. And then she said, but everybody sell it. It was she said everybody sell it where they at. You gotta fight to get in the store.
And you know what it gave me? Honestly, it did give me Mary.
Yeah.
There is no plan. We're gonna open the store outside the front, even though there's a store on every corner. Damn, they really are Brandon and Mary. Mm-hmm. Lord, y'all know how to wash, rinse, and repeat, don't you, TLC? So
you're right for the first time. Look, they're gonna like it again.
Right. So basically, he's like, "Well, that's all you needed to say." And she popped off on him. She said, "English is my third language. I know two others. I got two others in my head. Okay." So if I didn't translate good enough for you, I said, "Whoo, okay." Tata got a temper.
She said it. She warned us.
And so once he tries to dig deeper, it still sounds like they might not make any money. He tells her he hates that they're having this conversation just now, and she brings up how she hated hearing about JoJo just before she was leaving. Now, that's if Petty was a person. That would be something I would do.
That would definitely be something you would do. But she said she didn't do that on purpose. She said she didn't think to even go into detail about any of that stuff.
Now, James is second guessing moving at all at this point. And then they say their tearful goodbyes. And James is emotional because he isn't sure when he's going to see her again. Because you haven't bought your ticket, sir.
Oh, she caught a whole attitude before all of that. He was like, what did he say? He said, speak in love, even if we mad at each other. She still wasn't trying to hear that. It took her a minute to calm down. She's like, basically, I guess. Fine.
Right. So James says that he's gonna he talks to TT, and this is after she's gone at least once a day, but he still misses her. So I think this is like a month later. He's preparing to leave. And so he sits down with his brother and his sister-in-law. I believe the brother's name is Jimmy. Mm-hmm. And he lets him know. Now, what we did not know was that, like most people on 90 Day, this is a pattern for James. Okay. So he was married once before. His ex-wife was not happy in Maine because it was too cold. She wanted to move to Florida. He didn't want to move, but he moved anyway. He didn't tell his parents. And they ended up having to downsize their business because they didn't have enough workers or repairmen on the job.
And wasn't even married to the girl less than a year. I mean, right. It wasn't not even a year.
So he tells the brother that, Tata isn't planning to come back, and he plans to permanently move to Indonesia. He plans to tell his parents the next day, so I guess we'll get that maybe next episode. And Jimmy isn't happy to hear this news and was like, well, last time you did this, you left him high and dry. And James says that he admits he's making this decision for her, but in her best interest, and he agrees with it. So he also admits that he promised Tata's father that he would learn the language. He would always provide for her and give them grandbabies. Now, this is when we learned he ain't done none of it. He don't know a bit of the language. And he opens up that he really don't want kids right now. He said after COVID and just seeing how the world changed and we were on the brink of, civil. Y'all know where we're going with that. That basically he has no interest in bringing kids into this crazy world. And I know a lot of people that feel like that. So that's where he stands. He hasn't shared this with Tata, but his sister-in-law points out that you can do all this and move, and then y'all could break up as soon as you tell her that.
Because you didn't tell her that. Exactly.
And basically she said, I've seen marriages, I've seen relationships end because this conversation wasn't had early enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I mean, I will say, and I'm not trying to play advocate for James because I think it's totally wrong. However, what the story that he gave us is that this was 5 years ago before the demic. So 5 years, your mind can change about things. However, he's super wrong for not communicating that to his wife. That's just my opinion. I think that's where he went wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with you being.
I don't believe anything he says. I think he's full of it.
Ooh, tough crowd.
Just like he lied about learning the language before when they get engaged. I think he lied about wanting kids. I think it was all BS.
Woo! Well, Shade Squad, all of our new viewers, we'd love to know your comments. Drop down in the chat and in the comment section and let us know what you think. Is James just a liar, deceiver, heartbreaker? But yeah, that was pretty much the episode. And honestly, I can't complain. Thank you, TLC. We appreciate you. And so yeah, y'all, we will
get next week.
Yep, we will catch you next week for another recap of these fools. But if you haven't already, please make sure that y'all go ahead and y'all hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
And make sure you've subscribed.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And yeah, y'all, we will catch you next week for another recap of the 90 Day the Other Way. Have a good night.
Good night.